Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always watching and supporting the channel. In your opinion, the battle between Magneto and Spawn. When mutants meet Hell's demons, who will win? Magneto, whose real name is Erik Lehnsherr, is an Omega-level mutant who possesses the ability to control magnetic fields from the smallest metals to the magnetic structure of the planet. Not only can he turn iron and steel into weapons, he can also fly, create nearly impenetrable electromagnetic shields, and even manipulate brain signals with electromagnetic waves. In addition to his physical strength, Magneto is also a skilled strategist, with the ideal of protecting mutants at all costs, even sacrificing humanity. Spawn, or Simmons, was a former CIA assassin who was betrayed and became a Hellspawn, a reborn entity from Hell. He possesses Necroplasm, a powerful hellish energy that allows him to transform, teleport, heal, control weapons, and manipulate darkness. In addition, Spawn also has demonic powers, such as summoning, manipulating other people's souls, and even fighting against both angels and demons. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button. Please remember to turn on notifications and click the bell icon. Thank you very much. Magneto is one of the greatest mutants to ever exist in the Marvel Universe. Originally classified as an alpha mutant, Magneto has now been officially recognized as the highest level Omega mutant, demonstrating superior strength and unlimited potential. With the ability to control magnetic fields at an extremely sophisticated and powerful level, Magneto possesses the ability to change the outcome of any war. His ability to manipulate magnetism and controlling metals. Magneto has reversed the flow of blood in the human body, lifted giant mountain ranges, and even lifted an aircraft carrier with just his will. He can sense and interact with Earth's magnetic fields even when he is in a distant galaxy, and has used them to pull himself back to Earth in a single day. Magneto's control of magnetic fields also allows him to manipulate subatomic particles, allowing him to restructure matter on a microscopic level. He has been known to melt the strongest metals in the universe with ease. Magneto can create an incredibly strong magnetic shield, allowing him to repel Dazzler's lightning attacks, nuclear blasts, and even coordinated attacks from Thor, the Avengers, Hercules, and Ghost Rider. He has destroyed a suit of armor designed to withstand nuclear attacks and defeated Apocalypse twice without using any metal. Magneto has also fought Phoenix, one of Marvel's most powerful entities, injuring her and even destroying her with a powerful electromagnetic pulse that was potentially fatal. Magneto is also resistant to psychic attacks. He once resisted and disabled Emma Frost's telepathy while maintaining enough concentration to pull a bullet the size of New York City from space light years away back to Earth. Magneto's unwavering will and cosmic power are the factors that make him one of the most influential and formidable figures. To put it simply, a distance of nearly 6 trillion miles is equivalent to about 9.5 trillion kilometers, or 5,878,625,370,000 miles to be exact. This is the distance at which Magneto can manipulate matter and engage in combat, showing that his range of influence is almost beyond all normal spatial limits. This not only reflects his immense power, but also shows his ability to control energy on a cosmic level. Magneto can even amplify his telepathic powers, supporting and enhancing the abilities of other mutants. Notably, he once controlled Tiamut, a celestial known as the Dreamer, a cosmic entity with power. Magneto's ability to influence Tiamut proves that he has reached a level of power that is multigalactic, or at least close to that of cosmic beings. In this respect, he is on par with characters like Professor X, not only in terms of intellect, but also in terms of scale and danger. Magneto's most formidable defensive ability is his ability to create a magnetic field around his body. A nearly impenetrable shield, Magneto has used this field against Thor with Mjolnir, Hercules, and even Spider-Man when enhanced by the Unipower. He has withstood a combined attack from Thor and She-Hulk, something very few characters have been able to do. His force field is strong enough to withstand a nuclear explosion at its core, which would almost certainly wipe out any living thing. Magneto has also created shields that can withstand energy blasts from Cyclops, Havoc, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange. And also blocked an explosion from a Russian-developed weapon designed to penetrate entire planets. This force field can also protect him from an attack from a feral phoenix, which is one of the most dangerous entities. Magneto's magnetic force field is capable of blocking extreme temperatures such as lava flows, thermal blasts, fire from the Human Torch, and even the inferno created by the Ghost Rider. Even plasma bullets with temperatures exceeding the surface of the sun cannot penetrate his shield. Magneto can also travel in space by creating a breathable bubble of atmosphere maintained by a constant force field surrounding his body. This allows him to survive in space without special equipment. Magneto possesses the ability to enhance the metal structure of his costume using magnetic fields, turning the uniform into a layer of armor with a strength nearly equivalent to that of adamantium alloy. He can withstand devastating physical attacks from powerful opponents such as Namor or Colossus, while maintaining his composure and control in combat. Magneto is also known for his ability to emit high-intensity magnetic and electromagnetic pulses. The damage and application are extremely flexible. A typical example is when Magneto seriously injured Storm, or when he easily defeated Iron Man with just a single blow. In another battle, he completely destroyed a mountain and cracked Holocaust's armor. He can maintain flight for long periods of time, travel great distances, and travel at various speeds, from slow and precise in his control to as fast as supersonic speeds when necessary. He can precisely direct the magnetic fields in the space around him rather than simply moving along them. This information was first mentioned by Apocalypse when he attempted to replicate Magneto's abilities through Mystique, and was later confirmed by both Beast and Sinister, who had to form a temporary alliance to free Mystique from Apocalypse's influence. Although Magneto's control of magnetic fields is extremely sophisticated and powerful, he has clear physiological limits. In order to travel in extraterrestrial space, Magneto must create a force field around his body that maintains a breathable environment. This force field acts as a biological membrane, protecting him from the vacuum pressure and extremes of space, while retaining the air necessary to sustain life. This suggests that, although we can extend his influence beyond the atmosphere, Magneto is still dependent on some of the basic physical conditions of the human body. However, with such sophisticated control of the force field, he remains self-sufficient and safe in an environment where most living things cannot survive. Magneto has developed his ability to protect his mind to the point where he can remain resistant even in an unconscious state. With the training method that Professor Charles Xavier imparted to the X-Men and the New Mutants, however, Magneto's effectiveness is greatly enhanced thanks to many supporting factors. First of all, there's the iconic helmet, which is designed to completely block all intrusive psychic waves. Next is his iron will, forged from years of fierce war, loss, and confrontations with enemies. In the Marvel Universe, only a few other mutants have reached this level, including Jean Grey with Phoenix potential, Iceman with the ability to control temperature at the quantum level, and Franklin Richards, who has the ability to restructure reality at will. And Magneto is sometimes said to have the ability to create projections of himself. Magneto is not only a mutant with terrifying power, but also a sharp strategist with high adaptability in any combat situation. Please subscribe to the channel, it will help us a lot, and moreover, you will see great videos every day. You are the best, thank you very much. Spawn is one of those characters whose powers surpass those of most superheroes or villains in the universe. There are only a handful of characters who can be considered equal or worthy to compare to him. Only individuals like the Beyonder or Franklin Richards, who have the ability to control reality on a cosmic level, can be considered comparable. Meanwhile, in the DC universe, only near omnipotent beings like Lucifer, Morningstar, or Elaine Belloc come close to the level of power that Spawn holds. What makes Spawn special is not just his sheer power, but also the limitless nature of his powers. He can bend reality at will, and that level of control is often not bound by any fixed physical or magical laws. It is worth noting that Spawn's abilities are never really clearly defined or put into a certain framework. He frequently displays entirely new, previously undocumented forms of power, proving that his limits are seemingly non-existent, with the potential to constantly evolve, making Spawn a formidable entity in any universe. In addition, he possesses strategic intelligence, the ability to use ancient magic and infernal technology to create weapons of immense destructive power. Immediately after his suit underwent its first transformation, Spawn immediately felt the evil energy being nurtured and maintained within his body. body. His special suit, known as the K7 Letha, is capable of absorbing dark energy to maintain and amplify its owner's power. Simmons quickly learned to harness the necro power by absorbing evil energies from his surroundings, especially when in the darkness where negative energy is more abundant than ever. Spawn discovered that certain creatures of an evil nature, notably the demonic worm, were naturally able to store and release evil energy, allowing him to recharge his power more effectively. Letha herself showed an impressive level of autonomy and power when she was able to separate from Simmons to act on her own. In a fierce battle, Letha destroyed Curse and his entire army to save her master from danger, proving her irreplaceable strategic role in Spawn's power system. The dominant power of early and mid-series Spawn was the Legion. This was a collection of 6,000 souls that the Man of Miracles sealed into Simmons' body at the time of his death, in order to give him a source of divine power large enough to confront the Hell Kings. However, when he first summoned the Legion, Spawn had not yet mastered all of this power and was easily defeated by the elite army of Hell King Maimon. After that defeat, Simmons began training and perfecting his control of the Legion and developed the ability to summon a powerful army of Hellspawn deep within himself. In subsequent confrontations, it was this army that forced Mammon, one of the most powerful demons, to retreat. Spawn once demonstrated his ability to flexibly control the Legion when he released only 2 of them to handle an outbreak of zombies in a state in the United States. The members of the Legion were not just support tools, but were actually Hellspawn, with independent and formidable fighting abilities. Spawn was once defeated by one of the Disciples. These Disciples were designed to be on par with Spawn himself at the time, making the confrontation extremely fierce. Spawn was forced to rely on the Legion not only to create a numerical advantage, but also to distract the enemy, helping him create the necessary tactical space. However, during this fierce battle, the very dimension in which the battle took place gradually drained the necro energy in his body. Despite being drained of power, Spawn still won thanks to his ability to effectively exploit the Legion. After the event of Armageddon, when the balance of the universe was temporarily restored, Simmons made a turning point decision. He allowed all 6,000 souls in the Legion to choose between staying to serve him or leaving to rest in peace. All but a dozen souls chose to leave him and return to eternal peace. However, those who chose to stay were the strongest, most loyal Hellspawn, and saw this as the ultimate sacrifice to protect their master. These remaining souls played a key role in working with Simmons to deflect an attack from Morana, a powerful and dangerous entity. After the last soul in the Legion was destroyed, the power of the entire army was officially ended. Spawn's power reached the point where he could completely destroy tall buildings without any resistance. His destructive power was demonstrated when he faced Urizen, a monstrous entity capable of tearing the earth apart with pure strength. Urizen was so powerful that even the armies of heaven and hell had to join forces to defeat him. Spawn teamed up with Angela to confront Urizen. Despite facing a poisonous gas called Insanity, which could destroy his mind and will to fight, Spawn remained calm and steadfastly fought to the end. Urizen repeatedly tried to devour Spawn's soul as he had done to countless victims before. However, this time things were different. Inside Spawn were thousands of souls that he had absorbed, creating a nearly endless source of energy far beyond the endurance of any dark entity. With the support of the power of both heaven and hell, he once again sealed Urizen in the mortal world. Despite the victory, Spawn suffered heavy consequences from the explosion that collapsed the entire castle, leaving him in a severely weakened state. Not only does Spawn have to deal with magical and physical attacks, his body also has to endure a terrible punishment from a special weapon. In one particular situation, he was hit by a series of chains with energy studs attached. On one chain alone, there were 3 groups of 35 studs each. Since viewers only see half of it, the actual number is estimated to be 70 studs per chain. With a total of 11 chains attacking at once, Spawn had to endure up to 770 studs, each stud containing an electric source equivalent to 50,000 volts. In total, he was hit with an electric shock of up to 38,500,000 volts. An electric shock of this magnitude is enough to incinerate any living being, be it a god or a demon. However, despite being knocked out at that time, Spawn not only survived, but also fully recovered by day, showing that his regeneration and endurance have reached a level of near immortality. In a fierce battle, Spawn was thrown straight into a stream of molten lava, but it didn't seem to affect him. With his extraordinary endurance and healing ability beyond limits, Spawn showed no pain or concern. Immediately after, he moved at an extremely high speed, so fast that it was beyond human observation. Before anyone could react, Spawn approached a series of nearby cars, grabbed a handgun, and immediately appeared right in front of Overkill. His actions happened so quickly that everyone around only witnessed the result, not the process. Spawn himself has stated that he moves faster than a bullet. His speed reaches supersonic levels, creating friction with the air that causes it to catch fire. Spawn also has complete control over his living equipment. He can transform his suit and chains into deadly attack tools like sharp blades. His cloak and chains work together to create terrifying attacks. The cloak is capable of severing the limbs of the Redeemer, one of the most durable creatures. The chains can destroy multiple demons at once by slicing them apart in an instant. In another clash, Spawn only needed a series of attacks to destroy an entire pack of werewolves with nearly impenetrable defenses. His cloak is even strong enough to cover and restrain dozens of supernatural vampires. When facing invisible spirits, Spawn discovered that his normal physical attacks could still penetrate them, but his Letha chain was the most effective tool for binding and destroying invisible creatures. He also possessed Danger Sense, an ability to predict future threats. With this ability, Spawn was able to detect an ambush from Curse before it happened. Not only is Spawn an excellent defensive ability, he is also capable of attacking the most powerful entities in his universe. At the intersection of dimensions, an unstable tear appeared in the universe like an unhealed wound in the fabric of reality. This is the gathering place of fallen souls, where darkness rises and spreads like a plague. The imbalance between heaven and hell has given rise to an anomalous wave of energy, and it is into this chaos that Spawn appears. Born of hatred, reborn in despair, and driven by vengeance, Spawn clearly senses the evil power that is silently manipulating the balance of the universe, tilting the entire situation towards darkness. Magneto, considered a symbol of mutant evolution and freedom, senses the fluctuations in the cosmic magnetic field. He searches for the anomalous energy, determining that something is threatening the order of mutants as well as the entire natural evolutionary process. Magneto enters the anomalous area with caution but no less firm. He is ready to destroy anyone or anything that could become a threat to survival. Spawn, with his ability to sense the chaos in the souls of his opponents, quickly realized that Magneto was not simply a powerful mutant, but a force with the potential to shake the multiverse if caught in the wrong energy currents. Magneto saw in Spawn not an ally, but the embodiment of chaos, a symbol of chaos and disorder that could spread destruction. The battle between the two powerful entities erupted in a space twisted by chaotic energy. Magneto, with absolute control of magnetism and metal, launched a massive attack, lifting an entire Steel City structure and sending it crashing down like a storm of rage. Buildings warped, bridges twisted like steel snakes, crashing to the ground with devastating force. Spawn instantly transformed into a shadow entity, teleporting across the gaps of reality. He used hellish chains forged from the souls of the guilty to block the attack, bending the trajectory of the metal blocks with supernatural recoil. However, Magneto quickly changed tactics. He began to manipulate every metal atom in Spawn's armor, weapons, and even his own body structure, pulling them all apart with terrible magnetic force. At the moment of danger, Spawn summoned pure hellish energy, a form of primal power capable of directly affecting the soul and will. At the same time, he used magic related to time and teleportation to attack his opponent's psychological weaknesses. In a flash, Magneto was pulled back to the painful memories of his childhood, where he witnessed his mother die in a concentration camp. The unstable emotions created a gap in his mental defenses. Despite the powerful attack, Magneto did not collapse. With utmost concentration, he counterattacked by using the power of magnetism to extract the iron from Spawn's bloodstream. With the remnants of her soul, Spawn overcame his pain, his body transformed, and in the blink of an eye, he transformed into a superior form, God Spawn, a being that possessed both divine power and primordial darkness. Magneto realized that Spawn was not only the embodiment of chaos, but also the crystallization of forgiveness and redemption. At the decisive moment, Magneto hesitated, his eyes showing sympathy, but Spawn did not stop. With compassion, he delivered the finishing blow, not to kill, but to seal. He drained all the magnetic energy from his opponent's body, causing Magneto to lose his ability to control metal for a long time. The battle is over, and the winner is Spawn. I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thanks a lot.